All right, guys, so welcome back to another episode of Bo Knows Lawn Care, and today we're going to be diving into fall pre-emergent applications and specifically talking about split apps using either Specticle Flo or Prodiamine. We'll go over when to apply, the benefits of split apps, maximum yearly rates, and which product provides better control for fall weeds. But first, we're going to get a quick mow in, and we'll be right back, and let's get into it. All right, guys, so we are done cutting the lawn and we are back. We're gonna start talking about what a split application is. So let's define what it is first and foremost for everyone out there. So instead of putting your pre-emergent down all at once, you break it up into two smaller applications spaced a few weeks apart. So for example, you might apply half the product rate in early fall and then the second half 6 to 8 weeks later. This extends your protection window and reduces the chance of breakthrough if you have some type of heavy rain or if you have warm weather that will possibly shorten the effectiveness of a single application. All right, so in the fall, timing is everything. The goal is to prevent winter annual weeds like annua, henbit, and chickweed, which we all hate. Prodiamine works best when the soil temperatures drop below 70 degrees and continues cooling. In many regions, like here in Texas, this means that late August through mid-September for the first app, and then a follow-up in around October. But for Specticle Flo, which is more flexible and longer lasting, you can start a bit earlier than Prodiamine since it binds well to the soil. So typically the first app is gonna be around late August to early September, then you follow up about 6 to 8 weeks later. All right, so why a split application? Why would you want to do that? I got 3 main reasons why you should do it. All right, so let's talk about number 1. So you get extended coverage. Instead of coverage fading early, you're layering protection across the entire germination season. Number 2, you reduce the risk of breakthrough. If the first app breaks down due to heavy rain or heat, the second app keeps your barrier intact. And then lastly, number 3, flexible weed control. You can adjust it based on weather and conditions, making sure you don't have gaps in coverage, which, guys, that's what it's all about. We want to prevent weeds. We like a nice Bermuda lawn. So now let's compare Specticle Flo versus Prodiamine. Specticle Flo is considered the premium option. It has a much longer lasting residual, sometimes up to 6 months, and is very strong against Poa annua, but the cost is pretty high, all right, for this little 18-ounce bottle, which is the #1 problem weed in fall and winter. We're talking about Poa annua. Fewer weeds slip through when you use Specticle Flo, but Prodiamine is still an excellent and it's cost-effective pre-emergent. It gives you good control over most weeds, but its shorter residual means you really need to get your timing right. A split application of Prodiamine can stretch the effectiveness well into the winter, but Specticle Flo provides stronger control overall. All right, so now let's talk about the maximum yearly rates per 1,000 square feet. All right, so first we talk about Prodiamine. The maximum yearly rate is a pound of active ingredient. That's 1 pound. That's for an acre, which breaks down to about 0.83 ounces of product per 1,000 square feet. Spread across the split application, you want to keep each app lighter to avoid exceeding that yearly total. Now, let's move on to Specticle Flo. Specticle Flo, the maximum yearly rate is around 18.5 ounces per acre, which comes to about 0.042 ounces per 1,000 square feet. That's a very small amount in this little 18-ounce bottle, but always measure carefully. All right, guys, so bottom line, if budget allows it, Specticle Flo is the better fall option, especially for Poa annua. If you want a more affordable and reliable choice, split applications of Prodiamine will still do a great job. I love both of them, all right? So, quick recap. Start your first split app in late August to mid-September. Apply the second app 6 to 8 weeks later. Follow the label rates and don't exceed the annual maximum rates. But for Specticle Flo, it definitely offers a stronger, longer control, especially against Poa annua, while Prodiamine is a solid, budget-friendly choice. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide for split fall pre-emergence. Drop a comment if you've tried either product and let me know which one gave you better results. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Bo Knows Lawn Care. Peace.